Hello lovelies, just a really quick introduction to your lesson today. So if you didn't manage to get onto Zoom, this is what we were talking about. We were looking at some evidence to decide whether man actually landed on the moon. So the first thing I want you to do is to make sure you've got the PowerPoint up, or you've gone to watch this video. So you're going to watch the video. This is a real life video. They couldn't fake it. You can definitely see a rocket going up to the moon, going to space. We then saw them land on the moon and drive a car around the moon. We saw these astronauts and a lunar module, which was the small part of the rocket that landed on the moon itself. And then this is what they used to launch themselves back to Earth. And yes, satellites had been invented at that time because the Russians were already using them. So this rocket could be tracked. What you're going to do is you're going to look at 21 pieces of evidence on a PDF. And each one has different information on it, and you're going to decide, are you for or against man landing on the moon? Did they go there or didn't they go there? You're going to become real historians and look at the evidence. Okay, in the end, when you write it up, I've also put on there a little guide as to how you can get an A+. So the more of the bullet points you do, the higher your grade will be. If you only say whether you think man has landed on the moon or not, you're only going to get an E from me. If you go all the way and say whether man has landed on the moon or not, and use more than one piece of evidence to support your decision, if you evaluate the strength of the evidence, so in other words, this is your evidence, but how strong is that evidence? And if you talk about some evidence that goes against it, then I'm going to be giving you an A. And I've given you a guide all the way up to A+. It's quite easy to decide on different evidence. This evidence we're looking at here is a cropped photo of Buzz Aldrin, and he's saluting the flag. And you can see the fingers of his right hand. It can just be seen just behind his helmet. And then a few seconds later, he puts his hands down and he turns his head, and the flag is still unchanged. Now, when you put the two pictures on top of each other, it animates them, and you can see him moving, but the flag doesn't move. Also, you can see that there's movement in the flag, but there's not supposed to be any wind or anything like that on the moon. So did they go to the moon or not? Did they get evidence of going to the moon when they were on the moon, or didn't they? So you're going to summarise this work and put it in your books at the end. And let's have a very, very quick look at what the evidence looks like. So you've got evidence number 1, evidence 2. There are pictures and explanations with each piece of evidence. Evidence number 3, number 4, number 5, and so on, all the way up to evidence 21. You're going to then write about that in your books. Now, there is some work in the Caboodle textbook. There are 4 pages with lots of evidence on and lots of questions. But if you don't have the book and you don't have your Caboodle login, then just doing this work will be fine. You can email it to me, or you can put it on Show My Homework.